Welcome to Mama2shape Pregnancy Yoga. Find a comfortable seated position. We have thunderbolt pose, cross-legged and stick pose here. For thunderbolt pose you will need some support. Yoga blocks, thick cushions or maybe thick books, at least 10 centimeters in height. And so you can place this 10 centimeters of height underneath your bottom so that all your weight is taken by the support. You might need something higher. Make sure that the tops of your feet are able to be flat on the mat. If you find that your ankle is twisting outwards and you're unable to bring it into a flattened position with the top of the foot flat on the mat, then that means you need a higher support. If you feel that your legs are compressed at all, then sit up on something higher. You could even try a little footstool or bolster. Make sure you are centered on your sit bones and the spine is really tall. For cross-legged pose, it's good to have your hips level with your knees. So again, you might need to find something to sit on, yoga block, cushion or thick book. If your knees are a lot higher than your hips in a cross-legged pose, it can put some strain on the hips. It might tip your pelvis backwards, so you might find yourself sitting on the back edges of your sit bones, making your spine round and your abdominals have to work harder to keep you lengthened. So some kind of support to keep your hips level with your knees. In stick pose, we have legs extended out in front of us. It is important that you are centered on your sit bones and not rocking backwards. So your feet will be lightly flexed, toes curling towards you, feeling broad through the balls of the feet. Your thighs will be working, sucking your kneecaps up towards the hip sockets. If you are rocking backwards on the sit bones, bend your knees a bit more or use a little bit more height so that you can feel that the pelvis is neutral, not tipping backwards but neutral. You might need a little bit more height to be centered on the sit bones, not on the back edges of the sit bone. Feel that your lower back is long and lengthened and flat. So here I have been able to achieve the nice flat back and neutral pelvis simply using cushions, but the amount of height you'll need will depend on your body. From your comfortable seat, to give your shoulders a shrug and a circle. And then finding the place where your shoulder blades slide down your back away from your ears, as if you could put them into your back pockets and keep them there. Feel long in your spine, soft in your jaw, and be aware of the sensation of your breath as it flows in through your nostrils and out. Notice that your breath is like a circle that is repeating over and over again. Inhalation followed by exhalation, followed by inhalation, a repeating circle. And after every inhalation there is an organically occurring pause. The exhalation naturally begins. And then after the exhalation there is a pause. And the inhalation organically begins and the circle continues on. Give these pauses importance in the circle of breath, not holding the breath in any way, but just feeling those natural lulls and allowing them space and importance, so that the breath is like a 4-part circle, repeating over and over again. Your mind will stay connected with this circle of breath throughout the whole class. And on your next exhalation, let your chin drop down towards your chest as you keep your spine long. Inhaling, look up and over one shoulder, and then exhale your chin towards your chest. Inhaling, looking up and over the other shoulder, exhale chin towards your chest. Repeat in time with your breath. Keep your shoulders drawing back and down as if you could put your shoulder blades into your back pockets and keep them there. Feel broad across the front of your chest. This openness and breadth across your chest will help you get that delicious stretch down the front side of your neck. Making this the last round, take your time and bring your head back to center. Bring palms to touch in front of your heart. As you inhale, feel as though you are squeezing your palms together. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders down your back, feeling that strong frame with your arms. This will give your wrists a nice stretch, but if it's painful for your wrists, then you can keep the heels of the hands slightly separate and gently curl your fingers into locking them. Even though you're here in stillness, your muscles are working in your core, shoulders and arms. There's not much movement going on, just the rise and fall of your breath. Your shoulders sinking down your back on the exhalation. Your inhalation brings strength in your arms, back and wrists. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, open your hands up like a book. Bring the backs of the hands together, fingers point down, and stretch the hands away. Inhale there, and then exhale, fingers down, around and up, bringing little fingers to touch and thumbs to touch, stretching out through your fingertips, making lotus flower gesture. Inhaling, squeezing palms together. Exhale, open the hands like a book. Bring the backs of the hands together, fingers down and stretch away. Inhale there into the back of the body. And then exhaling, fingers down, around and up, creating lotus flower gesture with the hands and bringing palms to touch. Continue here in your own breath timing, making sure that you keep your shoulders down your back and away from your ears. Inhaling, squeezing palms together. Exhaling, opening the hands like a book, fingers down, around and stretch away. Inhale there, and then fingers down, around and up, lotus flower gesture and palms to touch. One more round, warming up the wrists and the shoulders. And then on your next inhalation, stretching your arms up, interlock the fingers, turn the palms towards the ceiling and exhale, drop your chin. Inhale, bring your head to center and exhale over into a side lean. Inhale back to the middle and exhale over to the other side. Inhale back to the middle and exhale, palms to touch. Bring your hands down in front of your heart and inhale, reach the hands up again, interlock the fingers. Exhale, drop your chin. Inhale, head to center. And as you exhale into your side lean, really ground down through your sit bones, your buttocks, your legs and feet in contact with the floor. Continue with your breath. Inhale, arms stretch up. Exhaling, drop the chin as you push your palms away. Inhale, head to center. And exhale, extending into your side lean. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, extend to the other side. Inhale back to center and exhale, bring your hands down in front of your heart. Inhale, and as you exhale, twist just from your thoracic spine. So this is the part just behind the rib cage, about where your bra strap is. Inhale back to the middle and exhale, twist the other way. And then inhale back to the middle, continuing on the breath. Keep your palms squeezed together and that strong frame of the arms in front of you, not letting your hands drag across your body. Keep your shoulders away from the ears, and remember this is a small movement. Exhale as you twist. Inhale back to the middle. Make this the last one and give your shoulders a shrug and a circle. Inhale and float your fingertips up onto your shoulders. Exhale. And on your inhalation, circle your elbows up and exhale them down. Inhaling, circling up, and exhaling, circling back and down. Continue with the breath. Pay close attention to how your shoulders are feeling. Maybe you can work your elbows together in front of you. You might even be able to get your elbows to touch together in front of you. But make sure you listen to your body and only move within a comfortable range. Imagine you could work your elbows together behind you to really open out through the chest. As you inhale and lift your elbows, you'll be stretching the intercostal rib muscles, the muscles in between the ribs, allowing you to take in a deeper breath. and increasing lung capacity. This is really important as your baby grows bigger and starts to take up space in your rib cage. So then reversing the movement, inhaling, circling the arms back and up, and exhaling forward and down. Inhaling, elbows circle back and up, and exhale forward and down. Paying close attention to how your shoulders feel, and only working in a comfortable range of movement. Maybe getting your elbows to touch together in front of you. Imagining your elbows could touch together behind you. So making this the last round here, and letting your arms relax down. Have a few more shoulder shrugs and circles. And then take a lovely inhalation as you sweep one arm up over your head and exhale into a side lean. Inhaling, reaching the other arm up and exhaling over. Inhale, cartwheel up and exhaling over into a side lean. One more round in your own breath timing. And then coming back to center. Come forward onto hands and knees with hands under shoulders, knees under hips into flat cat. Take a lovely inhalation here. And as you exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling, relax your neck and let your head hang down. Inhale into your flat back position and exhale round. Continue on the breath. Make sure that your elbows are very softly bent so that your elbows aren't locking straight. With every inhalation, feel long through the spine, as if you could lengthen from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And with every exhalation, really round up towards the ceiling, press your hands into the mat and let your head go. Your head is so relaxed, your neck is relaxed, just like your head were a piece of fruit hanging ripe on a tree. Your face and jaw are relaxed. With every inhalation, as you come into your flat cat position, feel your shoulder blades sliding down your back and away from your ears, as if you could put them into your back pockets and keep them there. Extend upon this movement to add in hare pose, so widen your knees for bump clearance, and on your exhalation, rounding your spine and bringing your bottom down towards your heels. Inhale back up onto hands and knees, and exhale round and down into hare pose. In hare pose, you might like to place some firm blocks or cushions underneath your bottom or in between your feet and your bottom, or you may be okay without it. Continue with your breath, exhaling, rounding your spine, relaxing your neck, letting your head hang down, sinking your bottom down towards your heels. Your bottom doesn't have to touch your heel. Inhaling back up onto hands and knees into flat cat, soft elbows, shoulders draw down your back, hugging your baby in close. As you exhale and round into hare pose, relax your belly completely. Keep your face and jaw relaxed, soft lips, teeth and tongue. This movement in time with the breath is really great for keeping flexibility in the lower back. As your baby grows bigger, its weight will pull your lower back towards the front of the body in a deeper curve. This can lead to postural problems later on. So moving the spine like this helps to keep the lower back muscles strong and flexible, allowing you to maintain good posture throughout your pregnancy and beyond. So we'll make this the last round here, and rounding your spine, coming down into hare pose to rest. So make sure that you are comfortable in your hare pose. You may need to stay up on your elbows. You may like some support underneath your arms to keep your upper body a little bit more lifted. And this can be as high as you like, maybe even a chair. Or you may be able to lay all the way forward. You might like to have some support under your bottom, so for example sitting up on some blocks, or maybe having a cushion between your feet and your bottom. Have a little play and an experiment to find out how hare pose works best for you, and remember to always shift your position if you need to make yourself more comfortable. In a moment we're going to be doing some lunges, and these aren't advised if you have SPD, symphysis pubis dysfunction, or PGP, pelvic girdle pain. Inhale, come up onto your hands and knees, and exhale, step your right foot forward to the outside edge of your right hand. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh and ease yourself up into a lunge. Stretch your left arm up and breathe deeply. Feel your fingertips are energized, reaching up as your shoulder blade draws down your back. As you exhale, bring your fingertips onto your shoulder, and inhale, reach your elbow up, breathing wide and full into the chest. Exhale, circle your elbow forward and down, and inhale, back and up. Continue with the breath. As you inhale, circling the elbow up, you can twist slightly away from your front knee, but don't let the front knee twist with you. Use your forearm to gently nudge the right knee out. When you're ready, change directions with the circles, inhaling up and exhaling down. Remember to gently twist your upper body away from your front knee, but don't let the front knee twist in with you. If you have SPD or PGP, you can sit in a comfortable position and circle the elbows just like this. Making this the last round here, ground your hands down to the inside edge of your front foot and step back onto hands and knees. Inhale in your flat cat position and then exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Repeating with the breath. Inhaling flat cat and exhaling rounding, relaxing your neck and letting your head hang down. And then on your next exhalation, step your left foot to the outside edge of your left hand. Bring your left forearm gently to your thigh and ease yourself up into the lunge. Reaching your right arm up. Breathe deeply into your side ribs. And then bringing your fingertips to your shoulder, reaching your elbow up for another lovely long inhalation. And when you're ready, exhaling, circling your elbow forward and down. Inhaling back and up, continuing with the breath. Check the alignment of your front knee. Make sure that it doesn't twist inwards, and also make sure that your front knee is aligned directly over your front ankle. And so changing directions when you're ready, continuing to circle with the breath, inhaling the elbow up and exhaling down. And if you have any SPD or PGP, then from a seated position, circle the elbows just like this, one at a time, or even both together. Make this the last round, and then ground your hands down to the inside edge of your front foot. Step back onto hands and knees, inhale, and exhale, round into round cat. Repeating 3 times, inhaling flat cat, exhaling round cat. And so when you're ready, widening your knees and coming down to rest in hare pose. Remember to make yourself comfortable in hare pose and have a little play with combinations of blocks and supports, maybe underneath your arms, maybe underneath your bottom. And then as you rest here, feel yourself completely calm and relaxed, relaxing into your face and jaw, lips, teeth and tongue, being aware of the sensation of your breath as it washes up your body on the inhalation and down on the exhalation. On your inhalation, gently rise up onto hands and knees, and exhale, step your right foot forward to the outside edge of your right hand. You might like to come up onto fists here, or rest your hands on blocks to give yourself a little bit of extra height. Slowly begin to circle your hips. Keep your face and jaw relaxed, and allow your breath to flow freely as you enjoy the changing stretches around the area of the hips and the legs. And this will stretch your perineum. Bringing suppleness to this area is so helpful for birth. This movement is also bringing tone and blood flow to the pelvic floor. Change directions and circle the other way. Again, checking in with your face and jaw, lips, teeth and tongue, and keep them relaxed. Tension in the jaw can equate to tension in the pelvic floor, so to help relax the pelvic floor, we keep the jaw relaxed. So then, making this the last round and stacking your knee directly over your ankle. On your inhalation, lengthen your spine as you come up onto your fingertips. And on your exhalation, draw your hips back, rounding over your knee. Inhaling, lifting and lengthening up. And exhaling, drawing your hips back, rounding over your knee. As you draw your hips back, straighten your front leg as much as you can, but don't worry if you can't get it completely straight. Making this the last round, and coming back onto hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, lengthening from crown of head to tailbone. As you exhale, round into round cat, and inhale, flatten into flat cat, repeating a few times. Remember in round cat to really let your neck go, your head hang. Back into your flat cat position on an inhale, and then exhale, step your left foot to the outside edge of the left hand. And from here, circle your hips, letting your breath flow freely, your face and jaw relaxed. This lunge is such an excellent position for preparing for birth. And you can use this in labour and even for birth itself, as in a lunge position, your pubic bone is a really good distance away from your tailbone, so a very open position for the pelvis. Change directions when you're ready and circle the other way. Enjoy all those lovely stretches around the hips, the backs of the legs. These movements bring flexibility, blood flow and tone to your pelvic floor and perineum, keeping these tissues healthy. Improving the health of these muscles now during pregnancy will allow you a quicker and more complete postnatal recovery as well. So we'll make this the last few rounds here, and making sure that your left knee is stacked over your left ankle directly. On your next inhalation, lift and lengthen up onto your fingertips, and then exhale, drawing your hips back, straightening your front leg and rounding over your front knee. Continue with the breath, inhaling, lifting and lengthening up and forward onto fingertips, and exhaling, drawing the hips back and rounding over your front leg. Don't worry if you can't get your front leg completely straight. When you come forward onto your fingertips, make sure you don't crush into your fingertips. Use your back and feel lifted from your armpits. So make this the last one, coming back onto hands and knees. And then on your exhale, rounding into round cat. Inhaling, flattening into flat cat, and repeating a few more times. And then widen your knees for bump clearance. Big toes point gently towards each other, and sink yourself down into hare pose to rest. And as you rest here, make sure you feel comfortable. Make any adjustments that you need to. And feel the breath flowing up the body on the inhalation and down on the exhalation. On your next inhalation, slowly rise up onto hands and knees. Let your knees stay wide and bring your ankles wider too. Take a lovely breath in. And as you exhale, walk your hands back towards your knees. Come into squat pose and use the power of your legs to come up to standing. From here, parallel your feet. So bringing the heels behind the widest part of the foot. The feet can be a comfortable distance apart, maybe a little wider than hip distance. Rocking your weight forwards and backwards on the feet, you may like to have your hands on your hips. Feel as though you're spreading out your toes, the balls of the feet are broad. Feel the changing weight distribution on the feet. Make sure they stay parallel, heel behind the widest part of the foot. Make each little tilt smaller each time until you feel that the weight is evenly grounded on the foot. Ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe, left and right sides of the heel. The arches feel lifted, the feet feel grounded. Bring your awareness up to your pelvis. On your inhalation, tip your pelvis forward like a bowl of water spilling out the front. And exhale, tip your pelvis backwards like a bowl of water spilling out the back. Continue with your breath. Inhale, tip the pelvis forward, and exhale, tip it backwards. Notice the changing curves of the spine as you do this. As you inhale the pelvis forward, the curve of the lower back will deepen. And as you exhale the pelvis backwards, the curve of the lower back will flatten. Make each tilt smaller each time until you feel that the pelvis is level. The front rim of bone at the front of the pelvis, level with the back rim of bone at the back of the pelvis. The pelvis is like a bowl of water that's not spilling. And then begin to circle your shoulders, feeling all the movements the shoulder blades can make on the back. Circle one way and then the other. And then finding the place where your shoulder blades are in their perfect position on the back. They're not up by the ears, they're not sloping forwards or squeezed together. They are sliding down your back and away from your ears. Turn your palms to face forward, have chin level with the floor, lifted from the crown of the head and the base of the skull. Close your eyes. Feel your face and jaw, lips, teeth and tongue are relaxed. Check in with your knees that you're not locking them straight. Have a little tiny knee bend. Just breathing here, feeling strong and grounded, broad across the front of the body and the back of the body evenly. Face and jaw relaxed. Taking a lovely inhalation and exhale. Then inhale, reaching your arms forward and up, and exhale, sweep them forward and down. Continue with the breath, inhaling up and exhale down. Keep your posture perfectly neutral so that you aren't swaying your upper body back as you bring your arms up. The pelvis stays neutral. And we shall extend upon this to add in chair pose. So inhaling the arms up and exhaling down. And then inhaling, sitting into an imaginary chair and exhale to stand. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, arms drift down. Inhale into chair pose and exhale to stand. When you come into your chair pose, make sure that your knees don't overshoot your toes, so it's the bottom sitting backwards. You might find that your weight will rock slightly back into your heels. Keep the balls of the feet firmly grounded and notice how this activates your feet and your legs. Every time that you come back up to standing, make sure that you keep the knees soft, not locking the knee joints. So we're inhaling the arms up, exhaling down. Inhale, palms to touch as you sit into chair, and exhale, stand. So we'll make that the last one. And then come back to a gentle rocking forwards and backwards on your feet. Feel each tilt getting smaller each time until the feet are firmly grounded. Ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe, left and right sides of the heel, and the arches feel lifted. Imagine that your feet are on parallel lines and step forward with your left foot, keeping it on its line. Your back heel stays grounded and the toes turn out just a little bit, like 1 o'clock on the hands of a clock. And bend your front knee, stacking the knee directly over the ankle. This alignment is really important. Make sure that your knee doesn't overshoot the ankle. It is important for the health of your knee joint that you keep your knee stacked over your ankle in the front leg. Keep grounding through your back heel. If you have SPD or PGP, keep your stance short. If you haven't and you want more challenge, then see if you can shuffle your front foot forward to lengthen your stance. Always make sure you feel nice and balanced. You might feel a stretch in your back calf, but your balance is more important than feeling a deep stretch. You may need to reduce the range of your pose to maintain good, strong balance. We are moving into an uplifting back bend. Inhale as you reach your arms up and exhale them down. Continuing with the breath, inhaling up and exhaling down. As you inhale your arms up, feel that your spine is wonderfully lengthened. And as your arms are lifted to their highest point, keep the fingertips activated and the shoulders drawing down the back and away from the ears. You can bring this gentle back bend up into the upper body. Think of lifting your heart lifting your collarbone, shining your heart forward. Reach your hands behind you and grab your opposite elbow or bring palms to touch behind you. Lift your collarbone as you inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart even more. And then bring your hands back onto your hips, straighten your front leg, but make sure you don't lock your knee. So keep the knee very softly bent and feel like you're sucking your right knee up towards the right hip socket. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale as you hinge forward at your hips, keeping your lower back flat. So don't let your shoulders round. Keep the shoulders drawing back, down, away from the ears. And think of your heart as lifted and shining forward. The amount you are able to hinge forward at the hips while maintaining a straight back will depend on your hamstring flexibility. Slowly lengthen back up to standing. And step forward to the front of the mat, coming back into your parallel feet position, heel behind the widest part of the foot. Imagine parallel lines coming out the back of both heels and take a step back on your left foot, keeping it on its line. Ground the heel on its line and turn your toes out just a little bit, hips are squared forward. Stack your front knee directly over the ankle and lengthen your stance an appropriate amount for your body. Feel your back heel firmly grounded down and your hips squared forward like your inner hip bones were headlights on a car. Inhaling, sweeping your arms up, and exhaling down. Continue with your breath. As you raise your arms, you can think about bringing the back bend into your upper back, lifting your collarbone, rolling your shoulders down your back. And you can even lift your gaze, looking up towards the line between the ceiling and the wall. Feel the back of the neck is long, never letting your head flop back. Inhaling, lengthening into the gentle back bend. Exhaling, arms drift down and feet feel grounded, legs strong. One more time here, and then bringing your hands behind you, catching your opposite elbow, rolling your shoulders back, lifting your collarbone, feeling that beautiful opening stretch across your chest even more. Breathe wide and full into your chest. If it is accessible, you could bring palms to touch behind you in reverse namaste. Keep drawing the shoulders back, lifting the collarbone. And then bringing your hands onto your hips. Straighten your front leg, but don't let the knee lock. And inhale, lengthen your spine. Then exhale, hinge forward at your hips, keeping your spine long, your heart shining forward, shoulders drawing back, and lengthening from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Face and jaw relaxed, feet firmly grounded. Keep your front hip drawing back to get that lovely hamstring stretch, and you may need to let your back hip drop slightly forward. So imagine your inner hip bones were shining forward like headlights on a car. Slowly lengthen back up again. And then exhaling as you step forward to the front of the mat, coming back into your Tadasana, parallel feet, slight soft knee bend, neutral pelvis, shoulders stacked over the hips. Bring your hands onto your hips and bring your weight into your left foot. Take your right foot to the left ankle, calf, or inner thigh, but make sure that you don't rest your right foot on your left knee, as the pressure of resting your foot against the knee would be bad for the joint. Bring your palms to touch and balance and breathe. It can help to focus your eyes on a still point in front of you. On your inhalation, raise your arms up and exhale to float the hands just above the crown of the head. And then bringing your right arm down, so this is the same side as your bent leg. Inhale, reach the left arm up, and exhale over into a side lean towards your bent leg. Inhale, coming back to center and grounding the feet down. Have a little paddle out for the feet. Then coming back into your standing posture. Bring your weight into your right foot. Take your left foot to somewhere on the standing leg. It could be ankle, calf, or inner thigh, but not the knee joint. Feel your left knee rolling outwards in an external spiral of rotation. With palms to touch in front of your heart, squeeze the palms together. And inhale as you reach your arms up above your head, and then exhaling, bringing the hands to float above the crown of the head. It's okay to wobble. And so then, from this position, bringing the left arm down and reaching the right arm up, and then extending over into a side lean in weeping willow tree balance. Come back to the center, ground your foot down, and have a gentle paddle out for your feet. So standing with parallel feet near the front of your mat, imagine you have parallel lines coming out the back of your heels. Take a step back on your left foot, keeping it on its line. Turn your left toes out just a little bit, like 11 o'clock on the hands of a clock. Palms up, bring your arms up to shoulder height, right arm forward, left arm back, and then turn your palms down. Feel extended from fingertip to fingertip. On your next inhalation, reach your front arm up as you extend your back arm down your leg. Exhale as you reach further down your back leg and up and over in Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, cartwheel your arms back to Warrior 2 and extend from fingertip to fingertip again. Drop your hands back to your hips and step forward to the front of the mat. So have a little rock forward and backwards on your feet, finding your parallel feet position, a neutral pelvis, and step back with your right foot, turning the right toes out just a little, and then inhaling your arms up to shoulder height, exhaling the palms down. Feel extended from fingertip to fingertip. Imagine your tailbone extended down towards the earth and your shoulders dropping away from your ears. Inhaling, reaching your front arm up, and exhaling, extending back as you reach down your back leg. Inhale, cartwheel your arms back to parallel to the floor with the palms up, and then exhale the palms down, again extended from fingertip to fingertip. Bring your hands to your hips and step forward to the front of the mat. Ground your feet down, parallel feet. So we're coming into a one-legged balance. Avoid this if you have any SPD or PGP. Bring your weight into your right foot and take hold of your left foot or ankle with your hand. Feel your left knee yielding down towards the earth and make sure that you have a neutral pelvis, like a bowl of water that's not spilling out the front or the back. It's okay to be a bit wobbly, and you might like to hold onto a wall for support. Make sure face and jaw are relaxed and shoulders slide down away from your ears. You can raise your right arm up, thumb and forefinger to touch. And to go further in this pose, push your back foot into your hand. You might like to hold the inside edge of your back foot because this gives you more of a stretch across your left shoulder and keep your upper body as upright as possible. Bring your right hand down to your hip and place your foot flat on the floor. Back to parallel feet, having a little paddle out for the feet, and bring your weight over into your left foot. Take your right foot into your hand, holding the foot or ankle, neutral pelvis, knee yielding down towards the floor, and make sure you don't lock your standing knee. Stretch your left arm up towards the sky. If you want to go a little bit further, push your foot into your hand, and you might like to hold the inside edge of your lifted foot for a greater shoulder stretch. Keep your chest squared forward. Return back to center and come back into your parallel feet position. Paddle out your feet and have a wiggle for your legs and hips. Moving to about a third of the way from the back of your mat with your feet wider than hip distance apart. Inhale your arms out to shoulder height. Exhale, bend through ankles, knees and hips coming into squat pose. Inhale forward onto hands and knees. And exhale, round your spine into round cat. Inhale into flat cat. Exhale into round cat, relaxing your neck, let your head hang down, maybe give your head a little wobble. Inhaling into flat cat again, soft elbows. Exhale, round cat. And then widening your knees, sinking your bottom down towards your heels into hare pose to rest. When you're ready, come up onto hands and knees and lower yourself onto your elbows into puppy dog pose. Feel that your spine is long and lengthened. Lots of space in between each vertebra. Take a lovely inhalation here, and then turning your left hand over, thread your left arm underneath your right armpit, bringing your left shoulder and the left side of your head to the floor. If they don't easily touch the floor, then use a block or a cushion underneath your shoulder and your head so that the shoulder and head are resting evenly on the support that you have chosen. Relax your shoulders, relax your upper body, relax your face and jaw, sink into this delicious shoulder stretch. Ground into your right forearm and lengthen yourself back up to center into puppy dog pose, having a long inhalation as you feel your spine long, and exhale as you thread your right arm underneath your left armpit, sinking your right shoulder and head down to the floor or onto a block or other support. Relax your shoulders, relax your upper body. Relax your face, neck, and jaw. Breathe here. And when you are ready, grounding into your left forearm and using the strength of your arm to slowly make your way back up onto elbows and knees with a long and lengthened spine, and then slowly up onto hands and knees. On your exhalation, round your spine into round cat, relax your neck, let your head hang down. Inhaling, coming into your flat cat position, and exhaling into round cat, pushing the floor away, feeling a stretch in between your shoulder blades. Glide into flat cat, shoulders away from the ears, and exhale round again, hugging your baby in close as you relax your neck and ground through your feet. So now coming into a seated position, Dandasana or stick pose. Have your feet a comfortable distance apart, curling your toes towards you, feeling broad through the balls of the feet. Knees and toes point straight up towards the ceiling. It is so important in this position that you are centered on your sit bones. So the pelvis is neutral like a bowl of water, not spilling. You feel the weight evenly distributed on your sit bones, not rocking backwards, because if you rock the pelvis backwards, your lower back will round, it could strain your back, and you'll feel strain in your hip flexors and tummy. So if you feel this, bend your knees, and this will allow you to rock to neutral on the pelvis, inner hip bones level with the back rim of bone, and it will allow your spine to lengthen up. Or you could take an extra block or firm cushion and lift your pelvis by sitting on the block. This will help you get the pelvis to a neutral position. You may need a combination of both bent knees and a higher support to sit on in order to achieve a neutral pelvis and a flat back. Enjoy a few rounds of breath here in this strong seated posture. Keep lengthening up the back of your body. Feel your postural muscles working. Feel your legs working like you could suck your kneecaps up towards your hip sockets. Imagine sending energy out through the balls of the feet. And now, if you aren't sitting on any support, such as a yoga block, then please do get something. So for the next pose, you will need a support about 5 to 10 centimeters thick. Do pause the video if you need time to set yourself up correctly for the next pose, which is half hero pose. Keep your right leg extended as you bring your left leg around into thunderbolt pose. I will be mirroring you for this next sequence. So we have right leg extended, left leg folded back with the top of the foot flat on the floor. If your left leg or foot is uncomfortable, then sit up on a higher support. This can also help if you find yourself rocking backwards on your sit bones, because the higher support will help you bring your pelvis into neutral. You can also bend the knee of your extended leg to help bring your pelvis to neutral. Make sure that you definitely have a flat lower back and a neutral pelvis, back rim of bone level with the inner hip bones. On your inhalation, reach your arms up, lengthen up through the whole back of the body, and exhale, float your hands down. Inhaling, long and lengthen up the back of the body. Exhale, inquiring into tipping forward to the front edges of your sit bones. Inhale, lift and lengthen up from the hips to the crown of the head. Your exhalation is simply an inquiry into tipping forward to the front edges of the sit bones, keeping your spine long, your shoulders back, and your heart open. Imagine that the sit bone of your lengthened leg is extending out behind you like it were on a skateboard, and the ball of the extended foot is shining energy out. The form of this pose is way more important than the range that you can tip forward. With every inhalation, your spine feels long, and every exhalation inquiring into tipping forward a little more, but keeping your heart open and shoulders rolling back. Lengthen back up to a central position, and now take the foot of your extended leg and place it over your other knee, so the foot caps over the knee. So your pelvis here needs to be level. Your spine must not be in a C-shape side-to-side curve, which would give you a deep tilt into one sit bone. If you are sinking a lot into the sit bone of your more openly bent leg, then you need a higher support. It's okay to feel that you are resting ever so slightly more firmly into the right sit bone. Feel free to pause the video and find the right amount of support to give you that nice level pelvis and centered spine. Then on your inhalation, sit up nice and tall, and exhale as you tip your pelvis backwards, rounding your spine. Inhale, tip the pelvis forwards, coming to the front edges of the sit bones, and exhale, tipping the pelvis backwards, rounding over. Inhale, tip the pelvis forwards, lengthen your spine, roll your shoulders back, and exhale, tip your pelvis backwards, rounding your shoulders, dropping your chin. Feel as though all this movement is originating from your pelvis. You can bring your upper body into this movement as little or as much as you wish. Let your hands be in a comfortable position, and as you move, notice the changing sensations in your lower back, your hips, and even maybe your pelvic floor. Just one more lovely round here of these fluid pelvic tilts rocking your baby, and then coming back to center. A good tip here is to shift your right sit bone more into the middle of the support that you're on. Keep your left sit bone right at the very edge and bring your hand to your left hip. Inhale as you twist to the right, so this is towards your more openly bent leg. Exhale as you come back to center. Repeat at your own breath pace. If you have any SPD, then stay with this small movement, this twist in the upper body. If you don't and you want to go further, then as you inhale, you can engage your left buttock to push your hips over to the right, and your left buttock will lift off the block. This is why it's good to keep your right sit bone near the middle of the block here, so you don't fall off. Keep your shoulders drawing down your back and away from your ears. Feel the twist spiraling up your spine like a spiral staircase, from the base, gently rotating until it gets to the tip where your spine meets your skull. And so then, making this the last one here, come back to center. Bring your hands onto your hips. Ground your right hand down, take a lovely breath in, and as you exhale, sweep your top arm up and over as you lift your hips and press into your hands. Inhale, lower back down with control. Exhale, lifting your hips, your weight will go into your right hand. Inhale, lower down with control. Continue with your breath. As you lift your hips, you will find your weight coming into your right knee and your right hand. Remember to make a gentle fist with your right hand if your wrist is sore. Keep sweeping that top arm up and over like you are drawing a rainbow in the sky, so at your most lifted point, your top palm will be face down towards the earth. Make this the last round here, and then bringing your feet together in front of you into seated star pose. Have the feet a good distance in front of you and take a hinge forward at your hips. Keep your heart open and your shoulders rolling back at first, and if it's comfortable to do so, you can round your shoulders over. If you have SPD, it's a good idea to place blocks or cushions underneath your knees to reduce the effect of gravity drawing them outwards, and also to sit up on a high support. Gently lengthen up to sitting, and stretching your left leg out in front of you, folding your right leg back into thunderbolt pose position. Just like before in half hero pose, make sure you are centered on your sit bones. Bend your extended leg at the knee if needed. Inhale, reach your arms up, lengthen your spine. Imagine each vertebra lifting and lengthening away from its neighbour underneath it, and keeping this long length in your spine, lower your hands down. Take another lovely breath in, and as you exhale, inquire into hinging forward at your hips. With every inhalation, lengthen up more, and every exhalation, inquire a little more into the forward tilt. Keeping your left sit bone extending out behind you, imagine that it was on a skateboard and that your left foot reached away from you, lengthening that extended leg in both directions. As you continue to breathe here, keep thinking of your spine being long with every inhalation and your shoulders relaxing down your back with every exhalation. Keep imagining that your shoulder blades are sliding in a V shape towards the base of your spine, so your heart stays lifted, and you could imagine that your shoulder blades were in your back pockets and you could keep them there. Make sure you're not craning your head back, and have a few more breaths here, every inhalation lengthening and every exhalation inquiring into tipping forward on the front edges of your sit bones. So taking your last few breaths here, and then slowly lengthen back up to centered on your sit bones. And take your left foot and cap it over the right knee. Take some time to clarify your posture and make sure that you are centered on your sit bones and that the pelvis is not slanting over to one side, that you haven't got a sideways C shape in your lower spine. It may be helpful to adjust your position so that your left sit bone is more towards the center of your blocks, but your right sit bone is still just on the edge. When you are ready, take a lovely inhalation and exhale, tip the pelvis backwards. Inhale, tip your pelvis forwards, moving with your breath. Remember that all this effort is originating from your pelvis. Bring your upper body into the movement as much or as little as you wish. Remember that if you are bringing the back bend up into the upper body as you tip your pelvis forward, to not crane your head back, but continue to think of lots of length between each vertebra at the back of your neck. Feel your heart lifted, and then as you exhale and tip your pelvis backwards, you can round your shoulders and drop your chin towards your chest. Think of rocking your baby gently backwards and forwards in a lovely fluid motion. Make sure that your face and jaw are relaxed. These movements are helping to stretch and strengthen the muscles all around the sacroiliac joint where the spine meets the pelvis. These muscles come under a lot more stress and tension during pregnancy because the hormone relaxin that softens your ligaments in preparation for birth can destabilize the pelvis and cause the muscles around the sacroiliac joint to need that extra bit of care and relaxation. So make this the last round. Bring your hand onto your hip, and on your inhalation, twisting over to the left, exhale back to center. So inhale, twist, and exhale to center. As long as you haven't got any SPD, pain in the pubic bone, you might choose to squeeze your right buttock to lift your right hip off the block and twist your right hip over to the left a bit more. If you have any SPD or PGP, go cautiously with this one. You might want to keep both buttocks firmly on the block and just have a small twist in your upper body. Don't worry if you don't twist very far here. Always working with your own comfortable range. Feel that twist spiraling from the base of the spine and working up your spine evenly like a spiral staircase from base to tip. And you can turn your head just at the top of the spiral. So last couple of rounds here, and then slowly coming back to the center, grounding your left hand down. Take a lovely inhalation, and as you exhale, lift your hips up off the block, sweep your top arm up and over. Inhale back down. Exhale, lift your weight will come into your left knee, and inhale slowly back down. As you exhale, lift, try to push your hips forward as much as you can. Inhale, lowering down with control. A few more rounds in your own breath timing. Push the floor away from you with your bottom hand, and you can make a fist with that hand if your wrist is hurting here. Really feel lifted from your lower armpit. Making this the last one, grounding your bottom back down. Now coming into star pose, so the soles of the feet come together a good distance in front of your body. If you have SPD, then do go cautiously with this pose because it's an external rotation of the thigh. Sitting up on blocks helps to reduce this stretch, so that's really helpful if you have SPD. You can also place blocks underneath your knees to stop gravity pulling your knees outwards. If in doubt, then just leave this pose out. If you haven't got SPD, you might like to hinge forward at your hips, and you can keep your heart lifted and shoulders rolling back, or if you like, you can round your shoulders over and let your head become heavy. From whichever variation you choose, enjoy this deeply calming and relaxing stretch that helps to open your hips and stretch across your lower back, enjoying that indulging sacroiliac stretch. You should feel this across the lower back and around where your spine meets your pelvis, your buttocks maybe, and possibly your outer thighs. If you feel it in your inner thighs as well as these areas, then that just means your inner thighs are tight, and that's okay. Enjoy the stretch. If you only feel the stretch in your inner thighs, then move your feet forward a little bit. And if you feel any stretching right in your pubic bone, then just ease off this stretch. So we're going to come into relaxation now. So have your blocks ready on your right hand side. Gently make your way onto hands and knees. And lower yourself down onto your left elbow, your left hip, and lengthen out along the left side of your body. Place your blocks, cushion, or other support underneath your top knee and straighten out your bottom leg. You may like to place a little rolled up or folded blanket underneath your bump, or you can gently lean forward onto your bump, feeling grounded and secure, connected with the earth. Your head can rest on your arm or a block or cushion. So from here, just allowing your awareness to scan over your body and notice how you are feeling. Feel free to shift and change your position if you can, to make yourself just that little bit more comfortable. Relax your face, Relax your jaw. Relax your lips, teeth and tongue. Relax your pelvic floor muscles. Relax your tummy muscles. Finding your soft, passive core. Feel the earth underneath your body. Feel the earth supporting you. Feel any tension in your body simply melting, dissolving away into the earth. The earth absorbs it, gently melts away. Let your awareness drift down to your feet and relax your toes. Feel that your feet are soft, your ankles melting. Calf muscles are soft. Relax your thigh muscles. Feel your legs are so relaxed, just melting, so relaxed. Relax your pelvis. Relax the sacroiliac joint. Relax all the muscles around the place where the spine meets the pelvis. Relax your lower back. Feel that your spine is long and soft and melting. Feel as though waves of softness are just traveling out from your spine into the muscles of your back, softening and melting and relaxing them. Lower back, mid back, upper back, all soft, relaxed and melting. Feel this relaxation spreading out over your shoulders, your arms, elbows, relax, forearms, relax, wrists, relax. Relaxing your fingers and just thinking about all the work that your hands have been doing, floating up out of your hands and leaving them calm and peaceful and quiet, fingers curled gently in their most relaxed position. Let your awareness sweep back to your jaw and release and relax your jaw. Relax your lips, teeth and tongue. Relax your jaw. Relax your throat, your chest and your tummy. Relax your pelvic floor and find your soft, passive core. Your whole body is relaxed. Relax your whole body and feel it resting. Feel your body resting. And stay here for as long as you wish, feeling your awareness washing up your body on the inhalation and down on the exhalation. Every inhalation nourishes you and your baby with health and vitality, and every exhalation releases you more completely into a healing place of natural rest. Stay here, relaxing and breathing for as long as you wish. And when you are ready to come out of this pose and back to a more everyday state of awareness, simply give your fingers and toes a wiggle, stretch however your body needs to awaken, and use the strength of your arms to make your way up to sitting, observing how you feel, to be awake and alert and back in the physical world. Om Shanti Namaste.